Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Last winter, Winter Storm Elliott hammered my district over Christmas, and my constituents dealt with life-threatening blackouts as the grid struggled to operate through such a massive blizzard, the worst blizzard in my entire lifetime. But one thing that my constituents could count on, despite the blackouts, was the use of their gas stoves. And in some instances, that was the only source of heat in the home during a 3-day blizzard event. These were lifelines for people trapped in their homes during a storm that killed over 40 people in western New York. But the critical nature of these appliances couldn't stand in the way of my state's determination to make the pipe dreams of a Green New Deal a crushing reality for hardworking New Yorkers. Our governor, not to be outdone by the Biden administration, she has marched ahead with a statewide phase-out, also known as a ban, of natural gas hookups in new residential and commercial buildings. Ignoring the historic efficiency and savings of natural gas that has brought New York and this entire country, for that matter, over the last 30 years, Democrats in my state are determined to force New Yorkers off of reliable, safe natural gas that's very plentiful in my district into an energy future that our own state's independent energy auditors have said will be one with less affordable power and a less secure grid. Congressman Duncan, if DOE's proposed rule is finalized, what will happen to the gas stoves that no longer meet the efficiency standards?
Well, the manufacturers are going to have to go back at a very costly process and try to meet the new standards proposed by the DOE. That tells me there's going to be fewer choices for our consumers. And to your point about the winter in New York, natural gas saved a lot of people. There's a war in New York and other states on natural gas. We've seen it in California, we've seen it in New York. And having the ability to cook when the power goes out, having the ability to cut the gas-fired logs on to heat the home when the power goes out, having hot water out of that Renai or whatever brand hot water heater you have that's gas-fired, having the ability to dry your wet clothes because you've been out there shoveling snow trying to get your car out so you can go to church or to work or whatever with a gas-fired dryer. These are important things. And I'll tell you, the consumers wouldn't have them in their home if they weren't more efficient and save them money. That's why I have a hot water heater. That's why I have a gas dryer. So we see this continued war on fossil fuels taking so many forms, and here we are at the very fundamental form in the kitchens of our homes, where meals are prepared for families to sit around the table and eat together and discuss their day and do schoolwork. That's what this administration's going after. They're getting between the gas stove and the American consumer.
Absolutely. This did not, and thank you very much for that, this did not just magically appear one night. I mean, there is a comprehensive effort in this country to have a war on natural gas appliances and the use of natural gas. Among the number of consequences this rule would have on everyday Americans, it would prohibit the sale of many products already on the market. In other words, for those that struggle with the synonyms, it's a simple ban. This is a pattern within this administration's Department of Energy: raise efficiency standards, limiting ability of everything from cooking appliances to the technology needed to ensure that we can keep the lights on. And for those of you that insist that these aren't bans, all I have to say is I have a bridge to sell you. Suddenly, technology and equipment that was bought and sold one day is now forced out of circulation the next. And in the process, American families, American farms, and American businesses pay the price for tighter supply chains and even higher costs. Heating bills in New York State rose by 30% this past winter, and they'll continue to climb if we allow the Biden administration to further regulate Americans out of affordable energy in their future. And I strongly support these measures here today, and I yield back, Mr. Chairman.